Guys. This is Mona Sheikh, founder of Web3 is a Joke. And today I am joined by the wonderful founder and CEO of Thumzup, Robert Steele. Robert, welcome.
Hi, Mona. Thanks for chatting with me today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I have been listening to some of your interviews and some of the content that you put out on LinkedIn. And the one of the things that really stood out to me that you talked about is the democratization of marketing. Uh, please tell us more about thumbs up and that very difficult word I just barely got out.
Democratization. Yes, I had to practice it a lot before I started using the word on stage. Before the interview, you and I were chatting briefly about buzzwords in the industry. So I actually try to be really careful about what buzzwords I use, and we deliberately have chosen to use this word democratization. And I'll answer your question and weave in the connection there. So first, we're a public company. We have investors, and my job as the CEO is to deliver a return for my investors. So one of the biggest trends that has generated hundreds of billions of dollars in value in a relatively short period of time is democratization. It also benefits people. So it's a trend that makes money for investors, but also makes money for everyday people, and that's what we got excited about. So there's two components to that discussion. So first is the big successes. So Uber is democratization. So they used a technology platform to make it really easy. So anyone who wants to make some extra money driving people around can just jump on Uber and do so. So democratization is the word because before Uber, you had to have have a very expensive taxi license. So it was not democratized. So there's a small group of gatekeepers, and you couldn't just jump in and drive people around and make money. So that's one aspect of democratization. Airbnb is another aspect. So I believe that Airbnb has actually helped a lot of people who were struggling generate real estate wealth and second forms of income. So I think Airbnb has been very good for a large group of people, and that's what they did. They democratized hospitality, so you didn't have to have $20 million to build a hotel to rent some rooms out. You could just hop on Airbnb and make a little extra money renting your rooms out. So then to connect it with Thumbs Up, so I've lived in Los Angeles for more than 20 years. I'm an amateur musician. I play keyboards and guitar, and I have lots of friends in LA. You know, LA is famous for people come here seeking fame and fortune. And
What?
before,
This is new information to me, Robert. I have no idea what you're talking about.
before the internet, the classic story was that they're waiting tables. Okay, but now they're driving for Uber. Okay, and Lyft. Don't want to leave out Lyft. Lyft's good company too. So I've been Thumbs Up is not the first technology company I've started. I started several technology companies. So my question, I saw my friends struggling, trying to scrape up money to buy lunch, and I thought there must be some way to connect my friends to this massive $200 billion digital advertising industry that the FANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, that really drove the last bull run. Well, half of that is digital marketing, Google and Facebook. So ostensibly, those companies are making money from your friends. All right, they're selling ads to your friends, and they give you, you don't have to pay to use Facebook, but Facebook's like $750 billion company, and you just get a free app. Okay, so I thought there must be some way to democratize social media marketing and advertising so that everybody can get a decent amount of money for helping brands that they already love get the exposure and the interest of their personal friends. So that was the big idea. And so we are in the process of democratizing social media marketing and advertising. So we have people that are making $1,000 a month posting about our brands and businesses, which is good money, and early on, like within the first month of debuting the app, we had a person telling us that this was they were eating. This was the money that was helping them eat, and their posts were great. And our brands love their posts, and they're getting money they really need. That's democratization, and we believe that we're going to do this all over the world. We believe that Thumzup is the future of digital marketing and advertising. So for instance, the last comment, and I'll let you go to your next question, is there's 3 billion Instagram users, 3 billion. Okay, we want to help all those people get paid, and we think that's a win-win for the brands, because when you tell your friends about something you love, people pay attention as opposed to just an ad.
That's right. I mean, just to be clear, Robert, when I talk, nobody really pays attention. That's why I do these things. But thank you, though. Thank you for having that level of faith in me. I appreciate that. No, honestly, like this mindset of, hey, people recommend things to their friends all the time, anyways. Why not get paid for it? Is such an easy, such a basic concept, but it's so sometimes I feel like that truly is like the definition of genius, isn't it? It's taking something so complex and simplifying it to where everybody understands it. And I feel like what you're doing with Thumbs Up A is fantastic. And also I just feel like it's such a great way of, serving your community and really keeping the money in your community. Like, for instance, the experience that I've had thus far with Thumbs Up and how I even came in contact with Thumbs Up is because I had What Three's a Joke event last October in Venice, right? So then I get connected to one of your former employees. I don't think she's there anymore, but she's wonderful, and she told me about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I work for Thumbs Up, and this is what we do." I was like, she was like, "Great, let's onboard you. You guys were incredibly kind and generous to promote us, to get us the word out about what is it that we're doing." And I was just like, "Wow, this is actually really genius." To be able to actually compensate people for recommendations or for postings, because God knows how many things we post every single day and don't even get compensated for it. Don't even, and you're just like promoting somebody for free. So I really, really like that concept. Are you, is Thumbs Up more focused on just, brick and mortar businesses, or is it also for anyone offering digital services living in certain neighborhoods or
Oh
on?
yeah, great question.
Yeah.
So we're excited about the fact that one of our newest advertisers is a product called Hope and Sesame Milk. So
Okay.
sesame milk is really an interesting product because it takes a lot less water to make milk from sesame seeds than it does from almond milk. So it's more sustainable. It's also very tasty. So this is an example of an advertiser in Thumbs Up that is not a brick and mortar, that doesn't have a physical address. So Hope and Sesame Milk is in 20 Costco's in the Pacific Northwest. It's also in, so not to regionalize them, they're available all over the country. But our effort with them is focused on raising awareness that people can buy the sesame milk at 20 Costco's in Seattle and Portland and Salem, Oregon, and Eugene, Oregon, Anchorage, Alaska. So just within the last 2 weeks, we've had people posting in many of those cities about our new client. So that is not a regional, So our app has two sections: a brand section that is not tied to an address, and then a business section that is tied to an address. And the idea there is, again, we are not reinventing the wheel. We've carefully studied how Uber got their business off the ground. So in the beginning, it's very helpful to have a geographic concentration, because in order for us to provide a good service, we have both users who are going to post and advertisers who are going to pay for posts. So if we have a lot of advertisers and not enough users, then the advertisers don't have a good experience. And if we have a lot of users and not enough advertisers, then the users don't have a good experience. So the best way and the proven way to solve that launch challenge is to dominate a small area first. And that's how you heard about us, that we launched in Venice, really got 50, 60 businesses in Venice. And then we moved up into Santa Monica, got 50, 60 businesses in Santa Monica. That was early last year. Now we're spreading rapidly. So we're up in the Pacific Northwest, in Greater Los Angeles. We're out in Monrovia. We're down in
Wow.
Cerritos. We're up in Santa Clarita. And then if you start seeing other cities popping up in the app. So we just got an advertiser in New York City, Columbus, Ohio, but it needs to start in a concentrated area like what Uber did in San Francisco, or else you don't get a wow. So we got that wow in Venice because, oh my gosh, there's 100 places I can get paid to post within walking distance. We needed that wow to get it off the ground.
That's right. That's right. I'm a big fan of niche markets. I mean, both of my companies are niche. I have another company called Minority Reports. I started that like 9 years ago at the Comedy Store. It's a nationally touring
Mhm.
comedy show, and it was all about, showcasing people you'll never really see at the Comedy Store. So I'm a big, big believer of niche. I'm a big believer of having that wow factor with your niche first. And our objective with Web3 is a joke is precisely that as well. We have a much bigger play when it comes to business, but I wanted to establish ourselves first in a niche market, which is Web3 is a joke. Robert, I wanted to ask you, is that how, like, everything that's changing so rapidly with everything that's happening with the Web3 world, that's happening with NFTs, tokenization of things is coming. That's the next thing. I don't know how heavily involved you are or know much about crypto and Bitcoin and stuff. I would love to know. Uh, AI is becoming a huge disruptor, huge. Do you Are you concerned about AI when it comes to marketing and advertising? Or do you feel like AI would be an addition and helpful to Thumbs Up in really expanding and scaling your business?
Oh, we think it's going to be very helpful. So right now, my emphasis on our artificial intelligence plan is on helping us scale the business, is really where my focus is right now. So, for instance, part of our business model is that part of what we're doing is we have a quality control function. So, for instance, Web3 is a joke. You're an advertiser in the Thumbs Up app. So you have a screen that we call a dashboard where you can see the posts, and you can only approve, only the posts that you approve are ending up getting paid. Okay, so that's part of our value proposition is that we have a screening and quality control function. Okay, so once we get very large brands in the app that have national footprint, then we're currently working on artificial intelligence tools to do that post approval. So, for instance, the artificial intelligence tools would look at the photo and just make sure it's a good photo, that it's well lit and it's in focus. Okay, then it would look at it and so, for instance, we'll train. So when we get a pizza chain, we'll load up a lot of photos of that pizza chain of their product so that the AI can make a determination that the user's photos are actually of that pizza chain's products. And then the AI will also look for the photo on the internet and see if we call it a screen grab, see if that photo exists anywhere on the internet. So all of that takes a tremendous amount of the human effort out of the business as we scale. I anticipate that we would use AI to make recommendations for our users about new advertisers that they would be interested. This would be an opt-in situation in the app. Do you want recommendations of new thumbs up advertisers that you might be interested in? That's a good fit for AI. From the sales standpoint, helping us determine which cities to go into next, and where to go in those cities and which businesses. So, for instance, right now, the human sales team here has to make determinations about which businesses to go in and present thumbs up to. So I envision that a lot of that pre-screening of who we're going to market to is all going to be done through artificial intelligence to lower our cost of customer acquisition as we grow. And then the last thing I'd mention about AI is that I actually believe that human generated content, which is really our main focus, that we're going to be a hedge on. So I personally believe there's going to be a tremendous amount of AI generated content on social media that is designed to promote brands. And I believe that Thumbs Up is going to succeed because we're going to actually be distinctive because we're going to be offering the best human generated content. And I already think that you're hearing, and I'm already seeing a lot of evidence that, the human mind is pretty fascinating. And I think everybody's getting all these really snappy emails that seem really, that they're very relevant to you. Okay. But everybody, a lot of people's brains are already realizing this is not from a real person. This is AI generated. And so even though the technology is cool and it is able to generate these unique emails that get past spam filters because they're not a template, uh, our brains are really quickly saying, nah, that's not a real person. That's not a real person. So I actually think that Thumzup is very well positioned as there becomes a tremendous amount of AI generated marketing content that we can be a differentiator because we're going to be generating human created content on a very large scale, but using AI to scale the business, scale the profitability of the business. My current thinking on AI.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the amount of time that the company's gonna save in having AI technology being incorporated, where there's not a physical person that's sitting there and approving and looking. I mean, they can literally take that time and invest in something else and going on and getting even more business, right? It's all about, delegating and figuring out how do you move things faster. I feel like I'm a big fan of branding, right? I'm a branding girl. I love great brands. I love how they speak to people. I love how they connect to people. And when I came across Thumbs Up, it immediately just felt like a connection to Thumbs Up, and I was just like, I get it. I get what you guys are doing. It's simple, it's accessible, and it feels like a friend is talking to me. It doesn't feel like pushy or salesy. It's none of that. Do you feel, Robert, like this trend that I see a shift in marketing, right? Before it was very much like, come and join us because we are amazing. And now it has like slowly people are like, I don't want to be sold to. I don't want to be like treated as like, just a wallet. Like I'm a person. I need you to get to know me. I need you to care. What is it that I care about? And one of the trends that I've been seeing a lot of, especially in Super Bowl ads, is comedy. Comedy is a massive seller, right? And it's crazy because stand-up comedians don't make a lot of money. But especially, there's ton of comic friends who just I didn't make money for a very long time as a comic because you get paid in drink tickets and thumbs up. And we don't get paid. So I look at something like this and I'm like, wow, I have so many comedian friends who would love to take advantage of this and who would love to, make money off of this. But how much of a role do you think comedy plays for Thumbs Up, or if any, or if that's something you're even interested in?
Sure. Well, so we actually believe that Thumbs Up is a great tool for individual freelance type entertainers. So in Venice, there is a musician. His name is Eric Gray, and Eric Gray has been playing on the boardwalk in Venice for quite some time. He's very talented. I don't want to. I would call what he plays smooth jazz is what I would call it. I'm not sure that's what Eric would call it, but just to describe his style. And he is a Thumbs Up customer, has paid for the service, and he's one of our happiest customers. And he said before Thumbs Up, there was no way that he found where he could grow his Instagram following. So he's a full-time musician making money from his Spotify and Apple Music streams, and because you can't sell CDs anymore, and he's had more than a 20x increase in his Instagram following since he started using Thumbs Up. So I think that's directly applicable to enterprising individual comedians. Um, there is another comedian in our app, and I should have prepped so I could give more of a shout out to him because I'm not remembering his name. I'm embarrassed, but this happens. So we do have another comedian in the app who has had a good experience with it. So yeah, we see that as a vertical, most certainly. And then, you know, I believe that what we're doing is we're scaling content that is semi-authentic. Okay. And the only reason why I use the word semi is because our users are being paid, but they're creating things that have comedic elements to them. So, for instance, one of the things we do that we learned early on when we go and we do street fairs, like, so for instance, here in Venice, we'll be at Monopoly again. This year, we'll be at the Venice Love Fest. And what we found is that when people walk by, that we would say to them, "Hey, make $10 by posting about our advertiser here at our booth," and we get a lot of blank stares with that. But what always works is I say, "Does your dog have an Instagram?" And then they smile and they laugh. And here in LA, most people say yes, and boom, I've got a new user, and they download the Thumzup app. So you see my smile, that's humor, that connects, because the notion of the dog having an Instagram is funny, and that's one of the reasons why their dog has an Instagram. So yes, humor's played a big part in helping us connect with the community.
I feel like people in LA probably have more dogs than children. I in my entire block, I don't live on the west side, I live in West Hollywood. We have one kid in about a 20 mile radius. Like it's just one kid. Everybody else has a dog. I have a dog. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's a sense of humor is massive in connecting to people. People let their guards down. They want to talk to you. It's fun, it's engaging. I 100% agree with you. Um, as the business grows for Thumbs Up, and you had mentioned it is a public traded company, correct? Um,
Yes.
I wanted to actually just go back a little bit, Robert, and you said that you had also built other tech companies. What other tech companies have you built? What's your background?
Sure. So, right out of college, I got an electrical engineering degree at George Mason University, outside of Washington, D.C. And right out of
Performed
college,
there.
pardon? Oh, you performed at George
Yeah, they
Mason?
flew
Oh,
me out there
great,
to perform at George Mason University. Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Well, two friends and I launched a business called CAD Microsystems, which is a computer-aided design software consulting and value-added retailer. So that was my first real business. So within 3 years, we had 30 employees and multi-million dollar revenues. That company's still going strong today.
And what is
After
the
a
company
couple decades,
called? Sorry, what is it called?
called CAD Microsystems.
And what do they do?
Computer aided design software. So, like architects, engineers doing blueprints on computers. So then after that, I'm just giving you the quick summary because I've done quite a lot. So I was a .com CEO back in the .com era.
Okay.
So I started a company called iBright. So that was 1999. So that was where I made the transition from being a techie to learning finance and raising capital. So I was really early in the mobile space with iBright. So I built a technology. The first time you could put PowerPoint on a mobile device, that was software I created. The first time you could put AOL MapQuest on a mobile device, that was software that I created. So the big thing that we did is we made training courses for Cisco and Oracle, and this is in the Palm Pilot era. So before the iPhone, Palm really owned that handheld
We're
space.
really aging
So
ourselves here, aren't we, Robert, here?
yes,
Gosh.
yes,
The
yes.
fact that
But
I'm
that's where
aging the Palm Pilot, it's like, oh my God, you know?
yeah, so that's where I got, developed the finance skills. And then after that, just giving you the summary, the last business that I created is a company called Rights Corp. Rights Corp is a copyright software protection company, technology that was used by BMG to win $1 billion lawsuit against Cox Communications related to the piracy of their content. So that was software that I created and took that company public. So that's kind of the quick Robert background. But now Thumbs Up is my baby, and I believe that this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company.
I believe you. And also, Robert, I think you're just a lazy guy. I mean, where's the ambition? Truly, where is it? Just a just a lazy guy, just not doing enough. Not enough, Robert. That's what comes to my mind. Not enough. No, I mean, look, that clearly you're such an incredibly accomplished, executive and founder. So, congratulations on all your success and everything that you've had. I feel like thumbs up, and I see the potential of it. I mean, gosh, not only do I see it to be a nationally very successful company, I see it internationally to be a very successful company because it's so transcendent, right? It's a local community is a local community. It doesn't matter whether it's in the US or it's wherever. It's in Israel, whether it's in Norway, whether it's in the Middle East. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? A community is a community. So I feel like there's a ton of value. Are you thinking eventually about, like, so I was trying to understand, so your business model, I was trying to understand your business model, right? So your business model is, basically rewarding people for posting and sharing local businesses. So how does Thumbs Up get paid? Does Thumbs Up get compensated through advertisement? Does Thumbs Up get compensated by the brick and mortar companies that are being advertised? Like, what is that structure?
Yeah. So, for instance, one of our marquee advertisers is Bartell's Harley Davidson in Venice, California. Very significant, actually worldwide renowned Harley Davidson dealership. So, we actually have an event this Saturday where any of your listeners in Southern California can come get paid to post at Bartell's Harley Davidson in Venice, California. So, what Bartell's does is they go on the thumbsupmedia.com website and they buy a campaign. So first they pick how much they want to pay people to post about their dealership. So in this current campaign, they're paying $10. So then they determine how many posts they want to load up in the system. So they pick, say, for instance, 100 posts. So 100 times 10, that's $1,000. And then we charge 30%. So we charge their credit card $1,300, 300 is our revenue, and then $1,000 stays in the system until 100 posts get made about Bartell's Harley Davidson. And then the 101st person that attempts to make a post gets a message in the app that says, this campaign's been so popular, please try again later. And then Bartell's just hits renew in their thumbs up dashboard and it loads up with this. So it's very, very simple business model. In that sequence, the advertiser can pick how often an individual person can get paid. So they can set it so that an individual can only be paid once a month, or twice a week, once a day. And so they set the payout. They set how many posts they want to load up. They set how often someone can be paid. It's very, very simple. And Bartels has bought the service and renewed 3 times. And one of the reasons why is because the first time we did it with them, we were at their 40th anniversary event last summer. And so 10 a.m., we started showing the bikers how to get paid to post on Instagram. About 1 p.m., the caterer came to us and said, I wish someone had told me Thumbs Up was going to be here. We ran out of food. And Glenn, the CEO, said that it was the most people that they had ever had at an event like this.
Wow.
And there were literally so many bikers that it was slowing the traffic down on Lincoln Boulevard. And that our contribution to that success was it was only a $520 ad spend. So we had 20 bikers post on Instagram about this event. That cost the advertiser, with our 30% commission, that cost $520. But those people, their friends, saw this happening event and got on their bikes and came down, and it was a huge success and really showed the power of the platform. So, like if your friends tell you about something that you're interested in that's happening in your neighborhood on social media, you're gonna go participate. And then the last thing I'd finish with is that when you walk around in public, what are people doing? They're all staring at their phones. So if businesses don't have a presence on Instagram, then they're not going to have those eyeballs, and that's what we help them do.
Precisely. No, I think that's genius, and I feel like that's such a prime example of the power of sharing, the power of, like, and I feel like also with the human psychology, I heard something like, a person has to see something like 2 or 3 times for it to finally register to be like, I'm interested, right? I really want to go. I want to put in the effort to go and then click on that link and put on my credit card or whatever or pay for it. So it also helps when multiple of your friends are posting the same thing. You're like, I have to go to this. My friends are going. I want to go, right? Um,
Well, on that concept, okay, so right, this is the essence of our value proposition, which you're talking about there. So there's also really good data that shows that on a brand new brand that no one has heard of, that after someone sees 4 or 5 impressions of a brand new brand, that even if they've never tried the product, they're likely to say that they like it simply by seeing 4 or 5 impressions of the brand. That's hard marketing research, and that's what we're here to do for our advertisers. And we believe it's way, way better to have people give you these brand impressions than just some ad that's scrolling through your feed.
Absolutely. And I feel like also, you know, a lot of brands try to go like that's why TikTok blew up. That's why TikTok, has that whole creator program that they've had where, you go and find your influencer that you feel more connected to and they're, more in your niche, in your market or whatever, and then you pay them, you kind of deal with them. Or on a more bigger scale, when if you have much bigger budgets, you go hire much bigger influencers to do that. Do you feel like there's a shift in marketing trend from kind of getting away from that influencer culture and making it more local, like the way Thumbs Up is?
Well, so Steve Jobs said people don't know what they want until you show it to them. Okay. So I believe we are that shift because without thumbs up, so the value of a professional influencer with 1 million followers is that there's a transaction where the brand sees, okay, if I spend X dollars and get 3 or 4 posts from this person with 1 million followers, I know something's going to happen. Okay. But without thumbs up, there's no way for that advertiser to aggregate non-professional influencers to get the same sort of value. So we had to come along to do what you're saying, in my opinion. So now that we exist, because without us, there's really no way to get 1,000 people who are non-professional influencers to post about your brand. Now we exist. Now you can do it. So that's kind of the Steve Jobs model. Is that sometimes with technology it has to exist before the trend can happen, and that's one of the reasons why we think we can be a very, very big international company.
And Robert, I'm assuming Thumbs Up is a proprietary, technology that you already have, I guess, you know,
Yes,
licensed.
I designed and architected the platform, and I sell it and I manage the developers. I'm on a call with the developers every day. So yes, Thumbs Up owns and controls all the technology.
That's wonderful. Well, I am very excited to be working again because we have an event coming up on Thursday, April 11th, What is a Joke, Roast of Altcoin Daily, which I hope that you're going to come to. It's in Santa Monica at Expert Dojo. I've known the owner
Yeah,
Brian for 10 years. Gosh, I've known him a long, long time. So I'm
just give me the date again so it resonates in my
It's
head.
Thursday, April 11th, 6 p.m.
Okay, so if I was in LA, I would be there, particularly now that we've done this interview, but I will be in New York City that week. So I have to give you my regrets, but next time you'll see me. Absolutely.
We're planning on doing more events because
Mhm, mhm.
the thing about the Web3 world, and I feel like that applies to what you're doing as well. It's very community oriented. It's very community based. People have to be in your community. They have to get to know you. They have to love to appreciate what is it that you're doing. They really believe in the cause. So it's very kind of purpose driven in that sense. So we're looking to build that community out here in LA because I reside here. And a lot of the folks that are in the crypto space and they're mostly in Venice and Santa Monica. So that's why that's kind of where my primary focus is to hold more and more events there. We actually have the mayor of Santa Monica who's going to be attending our event. So I'm very excited about that as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'm a Bitcoin holder, and I
Yeah.
have probably about 15 altcoins, and been, the first time I heard about Bitcoin, I heard the founder of Mount Gox tell me about it, 12 or 13 years ago. So yes, been following it for quite a while.
Gosh, I haven't heard Mount Gox in a while. Goodness, like, gosh, I was like, yeah, that's right, Mount Gox. I remember that. Wow, that's incredible. Robert, this has been such an informative and such a wonderful interview. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you, Mona. And I'd like to just give a shout out to our stock symbol, Tom Zebra Umbrella Paul, TZUP. So if your listeners enjoyed what we were speaking about in the theme of democratization, everybody can buy the stock on their E-Trade or their Charles Schwab TZUP and get involved in what we think is one of the next unicorns.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Robert. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Mona.